Hey, welcome to Slay Between the Sheets Masterclass. I'm very excited that you're here. I'm going to be teaching you 5 ways to boost sexual confidence and slay between the sheets without getting stuck in your head, without worrying about what your body looks like or having those anxious thoughts. Am I doing it right? Are they enjoying this? So I cannot wait to get into this with you. If I haven't met you before, my name is Mel. I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach. I am deeply, deeply passionate about teaching and educating women to feel liberated in their bodies and in the bedroom. I work with an embodied approach that really supports women to explore their body's potential to have more holistic and integrated sexual experiences. And I'll tell you what, I am on a mission to create safe and empowering spaces for women to come home to their bodies so that they can harness the power of their sexuality and experience more embodied pleasure in life. Fuck, yes. So today I'm going to share 5 ways to build sexual confidence so that you can slay between the sheets, of course. And because I want you to feel uninhibited in the bedroom, that wild, free feeling in the bedroom is something that we all crave, especially women. We contain ourselves too much and we're people pleasers in the bedroom and kind of always wanting to please other and don't prioritize our own pleasure. But I really feel like that comes down to not having confidence in the bedroom. So I'm going to share these 5 tips and tools with you. Grab your journal, grab your tea, grab your bliss balls, grab a pen and whatever else you need, and let's get into it. So the first one that is going to help you boost sexual confidence in the bedroom is self-exploration. Understanding your own body and what brings you pleasure is crucial to building confidence in the bedroom. It is so freaking important to learn how to drop shame and self-judgment so that you can go deeper. Otherwise, you'll just keep hitting the same block around your body, around your skill set, around how you show up, around your voice, whatever it is. You're going to keep hitting that same block around your body if you don't start to learn and understand about your body. If you don't know what you like and you don't know what you don't like, you end up kind of just accepting whatever pleasure or touch is on offer to you. And we can do better than that, right? Actually, we can do a lot better than that. We're not just going to accept whatever we can get. When your partner when you know what you need, want, and desire in the bedroom, it's easier for you to guide your partner to pleasure you and tell them exactly what it is that you enjoy. For example, this could be in my self-pleasure practice. I've learned that slowness really turns me on and it really opens up my body to pleasure. This is just an example. And when I've got that information, I can really say to my partner, hey, I've learned that when I go slower with myself, that I actually get really turned on. I get really wet. I'm just like, my body feels so juiced up for penetration or something to be inserted inside me or just for more pleasure. It could be something like, hey, I realized that foreplay, like lots of foreplay, is a necessity before penetration. And when I mean lots, I'm talking like 15 minutes of foreplay that really works for my body. It could be, hey, I've explored in my self-pleasure practice that I actually don't like butt stuff. I don't like anything near my rear. That is a no-go zone. So really, really important to understand your body, because then you have like the ingredients or this information that you can then share with your partner so that your sexual needs are met and you feel fulfilled and satisfied in the bedroom as well. Now, self-exploration, I mean, the name kind of explains itself, but a great thing to do is start setting some time aside for exploration, and it's self-exploration time. It's not to have an orgasm. It's not just to have it quickly get off. It's time that you set aside dedicated to exploring your body. This could be 15 minutes. Put your timer on for 15 minutes. It could be half an hour. It could be a luscious hour. I don't have that kind of time anymore, but set your timer and have an intention with the practice. So for this next 15 minutes, I'm just going to focus on different types of touch. For the next 5 minutes, I'm going to focus on using different pressure around my body. For this sexual self-exploration session, I'm going to bring those 5 techniques that I learned, and I'm going to understand how to use them with my body and if this is something that I enjoy or not, right? So having an intention is a really great way to give you direction, and you're not kind of just there yeah, this is like fun, but I'm a bit bored. When you have an intention, it directs the energy and it helps that experience become a lot more potent and fulfilling. Now, when you, yeah, no, that's enough. I don't want to get too rambly on this. The second one, embodiment. Embodiment is absolutely, am I going to say it's crucial for all of these? Yes, that's why I'm talking about this and sharing this information with you. But getting into your body is absolutely essential if you want to experience more confidence and pleasure in the bedroom. Here's why. When you are constantly up in your head wondering what your body looks like, if you're doing it right, you're actually stopping yourself from experiencing pleasure. It's kind of like this short circuit, right? You're experiencing pleasure and then you go, oh my God, am I doing it right? What does my butt look like this? And it's like, pleasure hits like short circuits. And then you start getting caught up in like, I'm not experiencing any pleasure, nothing's happening, I'm not getting there. And then you end up performing or doing things to look good or sound good rather than what is truly authentically moving through you in the moment, right? And when we start leaning into performative sex, we really, it's murky and it's not authentic. We don't really enjoy ourselves and it's all coming from here rather than here. When you're in your body, you start moving with the impulses and rhythms of pleasure, which means you'll start to ride the waves of pleasure and sensations and have way hotter sex, way juicier sex, either with yourself or with a lover. Now, the best way to do this is when you feel like you're in your head, which is super common, by the way. This is something I get stuck in my head loads and loads of times, but I've got the tools now to like quickly shift me out of that. When you feel like you're in your head, you're thinking about the shopping list, you're thinking about the weekend, you're thinking about what someone said to you today, you're thinking about asking for the pay rise or the conversation, whatever it is, just acknowledge it. As soon as you realize you're in your head, just acknowledge it. That can look like, oh, I'm in my head. I'm thinking about the shopping list or I'm thinking about that conversation. I'm going to take a deep, full breath right now. And you're going to travel with your breath, right? So in through the nose, belly inflates. Exhale, let it go. And instantly you've given your mind something to focus on. So the mind's job is to think, right? We can't go, I'm in my head, stop thinking, don't think about that, think about the moment. It's like you're creating pressure on the mind to go, stop thinking about that, think about this. But instead it's a way more gentle approach to go, I'm just going to travel with my breath right now. And all of a sudden it's just gone back into your body. You're then going to focus on where you're receiving touch or where you're experiencing sensation. And you're going to internally tell yourself, and this helps the mind stay on track, right? We can't just take a breath and expect our mind not to start wandering again. You're going to internally tell yourself how it feels to be experiencing that touch or that sensation, right? So in the moment, I've taken a breath and then I'm going to go, oh, that's right. My clitoris is being touched. Oh, that feels so good. I actually feel really relaxed. Yes, that feels great. Oh, you can relax now. And so I'm actually starting a dialogue, an internal dialogue with myself to really drop into my body and drop into the moment. So where are you experiencing touch? How does it feel? So even if you're by yourself and you're self-pleasuring, you've kind of gone on autopilot and you're just kind of rubbing your clit and it's like, okay, come on, when am I going to get there? When am I going to get there? And catch yourself, right? If you feel like you're on autopilot, catch yourself, take a deep breath. Oh, I'm experiencing touch on my clitoris. How can I be more intentional with this? I'm going to slow down and really experience this. Obviously, there's lots and lots of tools that we can help you to get back into your body, but just even acknowledgement, taking a breath and refocusing on the part of your body, the moment, the touch or your lover, can help you experience more sensation and pleasure in your body. So really think about that. Acknowledge, breath, focus. That's it. And you can keep using that because likely you'll drop out again, right? You'll think about something else or the mind will just take you on another journey. It's like, oh, I've gone again. And something that can really help this is that internal dialogue. Yes, I'm loving this. Yes, this feels so good to experience. Oh my gosh, I love this, right? So keep with it, keep that internal dialogue going. And something really, really yummy to help you build desire and sensation is by just saying yes, yes, yes. I'm opening to pleasure. I'm opening up to this experience. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, the third one is communication. Communication is the cornerstone of a great intimate sex life. It's actually the cornerstone of a great relationship, either with your partner, family, friends, whatever it is. Communication is absolutely key. You know, when you're tired and you start feeling resentful or frustrated, and maybe you take it out on your partner when you get home from work, and things start to feel a little disconnected, right? When you're in this space, it's almost certain that you don't have any desire to be intimate with one another, to fuck each other. Without communication, you'll stay in that stuck, disconnected space. You need to be able to communicate what's going on with you, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're moving through, to be able to feel connected to your partner again, to create desire, to come together, to have sex. That's one part of it. Also, open communication really helps you understand each other's sexual needs, wants, desires, boundaries, fantasies, desires, all of the things. By having open communication, it really cultivates a sense of respect and understanding, and really it helps the bedroom be a place of curiosity and play rather than the silent, awkward experience that you never really talk about. I've worked with clients who maybe one of their partners was experiencing premature ejaculation and they never spoke about it. It was kind of this hush-hush, like, okay, that thing has happened again, but we're not going to talk about it. And slowly their sex life started to wither away. They had no desire for each other. They didn't have sex for a very, very long time because they didn't talk about this one thing. He felt shame. She didn't want to bring it up. She also felt really unsatisfied because she was never able to reach the big O when they had penetration. The story goes on. So open communication is so key to a great, thriving sex life. Practicing communication will also build your confidence, right? It can feel really scary to talk about sex at the start. I know people who don't talk about sex because it just feels too scary and too vulnerable. But the more confident you get when you understand actually what are my desires, what are my needs, what are my boundaries, you will feel excited to share that with your partner. Yes, it may feel a little bit edgy, but you'll build that confidence to go, you know what, life's worth living. I'm going to tell you exactly what I need in the bedroom. I'm going to tell you this new desire that I've really been frothing lately, and this is what it is. So the best way to have open communication is initiating that honest conversation. And it may be you that needs to start this whole open conversation relationship at the moment, but initiate that honest conversation about your desires and your fantasies and your boundaries and whatever else is on the tip of your tongue. Share that with your partner. Encourage your partner to share their desires and their thoughts as well. Be a really good listener when your partner is speaking. So it's called active listening. And this is when you do not interrupt when your partner is talking, and you're literally just holding a pillar and letting them talk and express and share. No judgment, no interrupting, no correcting, no, but I did do that when you're triggered or whatever it is. It's just active listening, like amazing. When they finished, you can even say, that sounds really hot and I'd love to try that with you, or like, thank you so much for sharing that. That makes so much sense. Or if they share a fantasy that feels like an edge for you, say for example your partner says, I have a desire that I've been sitting with for a long time, and it's that I want to have a threesome. And if that's like, oh my god, my whole body just tensed up, you can literally share and say, thank you so much for sharing that. That must have felt edgy for you to share. That kind of made me tense up a little bit. I'm going to sit with that, and maybe I'll be a yes, maybe I'll be a no. We'll see. So honest and open communication is just such a beautiful way of understanding one another, and that builds confidence in yourself, but also in your relationship and your sex life as well. Okay, the fourth one, education. Education. Knowledge is power, right? When I first started learning about female erogenous zones, how to self-pleasure, learning about touch techniques in my body, how to pleasure my partner, how to breathe, how to reach orgasms, energetic orgasms, all of the things, I started to feel kind of like, unstoppable in the bedroom. I was like, oh my God, I know all this information. I can start to experience heightened states of arousal and pleasure, all of these things. I started to feel unstoppable in the sense that because I knew all of this stuff, I then had desire for sex. I then felt excited to explore these things with myself, but also with my partner as well. I was excited to play and explore and show my partner and learn with my partner as well. So my libido started thriving and his libido started thriving. So it's really cool to start learning about your body, about your relationship, about intimacy, about what it is that you enjoy, you don't enjoy, some tools and techniques. Like, educating is so underrated. And by the way, this is something that I am still doing. 8 years into this work, I am still educating myself around sex and pleasure and relationships and my body, and putting these tools into action to enhance my sex life and my relationship. The best way to start this journey, and this is personally how I started, was reading books, listening to a podcast, and finding what topics really excite you, right? Even make you feel a little bit scared. Or it's just like that edge where it's like, oh my gosh, this feels a little bit exciting, or this feels a bit edgy. I want to learn more about that. And then following your curiosity through books and podcasts and free content like this, all of the things. Then diving into some courses and masterclasses, right? Going a bit deeper with some of those topics that excite you. Maybe even doing in-person workshops, maybe even going to a retreat, doing something alone, doing something together. Education is really the foundation and something that is going to support you to dive into this confidence piece even more. You want to boost confidence? Learn about yourself, learn about sex, learn about pleasure, learn about relationships, learn about intimacy. It's never ever wasted. Something like sex and pleasure and relationships, we're all doing it. We're all experiencing it. We're all in the throes of it pretty much. So it's just this learning about your body, and that it's never wasted. Okay, the fifth and final one is experimentation. If you don't try, you will never know if you're a yes, a no, or a maybe to something. And experimentation is really important and will keep things in the bedroom feeling exciting and novel and dynamic. People in long-term relationships, and this may be you, get stuck in this habitual sexual pattern where you do the same thing every single time because you know it works, you know it gets you both off, and it works. You kiss, maybe they go down on you, you go down on them, then there's a bit of penetration, you both finish, and then it's bedtime. Fine, all good if that works for you, but when we get stuck in a sexual pattern, we lose the magic, we lose that hotness, we lose the chemistry, we lose the novelty and the excitement, right? And this is when we start experiencing like unsatisfaction in the bedroom. We feel bored, we feel just dull and uninspired about our sex life. It's like, yeah, it works, but there's none of that, I just want to rip fucking clothes off, or I feel so turned on by you right now. There's no novelty. So experimentation really allows you to build confidence by learning about yourself and learning about your partner by trying new things. And it's really healthy to stretch ourselves. It's healthy to stretch our comfort zones and in gentle, obviously gentle, trauma-informed ways. I'm not someone who's like, we've just got to hit it hard. We've got to really push that boundary. We've got to really experience it, get to our edge. That's not me. My approach is really like, let's get to our comfort zone, and how can we just stretch a little? Like, what's something that could just stretch us a bit, that kind of brings us to that place of like, oh my gosh, this feels a bit exciting, or this, it puts you on the edge of the seat. It breeds that that excitement. I feel like it's that excitement and that hotness and that chemistry. Like, for example, we've never had sex out in this location, or we've never had sex in public. This feels really edgy for me. If it started feeling like I feel scared, this feels really, I feel really scared, that's not excitement. So it's important to distinguish when you are experimenting. You've got to have that like higher vibration of like, this feels like an edge, but it feels really exciting. Your body feels open to it, not I feel distressed and like my nervous system is going to overdrive right now. How can you experiment when you're on your own, self-pleasuring, learning about your body? This can happen in many ways, but things like trying new practices like yoni gazing, breast massage, sexual breath work, self-pleasuring in a new position, or using a different toy, or in a different location, or trying different strokes or methods or movements, all of the things. It's how can we just incorporate a few little ingredients? I'm not telling you to change your whole sex life, but how can we just experiment with maybe wearing lingerie before we self-pleasure? Maybe it's taking yourself out for a date and then going home and masturbating, right? How can we just incorporate a few of these sexy little things just to experiment? Is this something that I enjoy? Is it not? By learning about these things about our body, it really cultivates and boosts confidence as well. With your partner, right? This can be things like, first and foremost, always discussing, hey, what would you like to experiment with in our sex life? Is there something that you've been fantasizing about that you'd really like to try with us? And encourage your partner, and of course vice versa, get them to ask you, but encourage your partner to share honestly. A lot of us have shame around fantasies or even desires that are a bit dirty or may seem a bit out there. I remember for me, the first time I shared a fantasy with my partner, I was like, oh my God, this feels so edgy. What about if they judge me? What about if they shame me? What about if they leave me? What about if I completely ruin our relationship or our sex life? What are they going to think of me? All of these things come up. But when you have a safe, non-judgmental space, you can really say, hey, would you be open to trying this? Like, I kind of feel turned on when I think about it, or when I read this part of the book, it inspired me and I kind of want to try it out. Or when I listened to this audio erotica, I got really turned on. I kind of want to try it with you. How does that feel for you? Would you be open to trying that? So yes, it's an edge. That's what it's all about, experimentation. But it really boosts your confidence with yourself, doing solo play, of course, but then also in your partnership as well. The key with this one is mutual consent and not feeling pressured. If your body feels like a no, honoring that and going, cool, this, for example, if your partner said, I want to experiment with 3 other people in our relationship, and that makes your body clench up and tighten up, you can say, thank you so much for sharing that. That feels like really exciting and kind of a little bit scary for me as well. And to be honest, I'm just going to sit with that for a little bit. And by no means is this me being a no, but I just want to sit with it for a little bit. So really important when your partner is sharing that, you thank them for sharing that and you sit with it. If your partner says something, sometimes this is actually, when you start having these conversations, it's amazing foreplay when you start talking like, I'd love to tie you up, or I'd love to spank you, I'd love to have sex outside, all these things. It's like, God, that sounds really hot. Yeah, oh my God, okay, I just want to rip your clothes off now, let's go. So yeah, having really open and honest conversations about experimenting is really hot and will boost your confidence tenfold. Now, incorporating these practices into your sexual self-discovery journey will really help you build wild confidence. I am convicted in that. But something incredible that happens is when you start building confidence in the bedroom, which will make you feel deeply liberated and juiced up and excited, you'll actually start to notice that this will ripple out into other areas of your everyday life, right? Your energy starts to shift into a woman who feels deeply worthy of pleasure and everything else in her life, who feels enough, who prioritizes herself in the bedroom, but also in her own life, right? My self-care practice is so strong because I prioritize myself. I also prioritize my pleasure and sexual needs in the bedroom as well. It is truly exquisite what can happen when we start working on our stuff in the bedroom, which is why I'm so passionate about it, because it isn't just in this zone, it starts working in all these other zones of our life as well. So that is it. Thank you for joining me. I feel totally lit up after sharing those tools with you. I'm going to break down that wall and get to Steve ASAP. I hope this has inspired you and helped you to start making either 1 or 2 shifts to build more confidence in the bedroom and beyond. This doesn't have to be big, scary work, right? It can be fun. It can be sexy. It can be inspiring. It can be light as well. If you are desiring to take that next step, really ground this work into your body, cultivate more intimacy, build a fuck ton more confidence, and have a beautiful sisterhood of women alongside you, then I would love to invite you into the most beautiful, exquisite space, Intimate, which is a 7-module program. Intimate has supported over 100 women feel deeply connected to their heart, bodies, and pleasure so that they can feel sexually confident, empowered, and connected. Intimate is open for enrollments now, which is super exciting. You receive instant access to all the content when you sign up now, which means you can binge it all. You can hang out at a module for a couple of weeks. We have live coaching calls, so I'll be coaching you, supporting you on your journey. We have a community Q&A page so you can get coached throughout the week as well. And we have a bonus online retreat that will anchor you back into your heart and body. The online retreat, honestly, the feedback from this space, just the online retreat, has been phenomenal. Women have left absolutely buzzing. So if you're interested in this and you want to find out more, head to the link below. And lastly, I've created a guide for you called the Turned On in 10 Minutes with some helpful ways to get you in the mood for solo pleasure or partnered pleasure. And you can download that below. Sending you lots of love.